Hi, my name is Marc Belaiche. I'm president of TorontoJobs.ca. Thanks for watching. Common question that I always get as a recruiter, having been in the business since 1995, is what should I be paid? What should my salary be? It can be an uncomfortable question in many ways, whether it's during an interview or discussing it with your supervisor or manager and so on. So in this short video, I'm going to share with you some tips and suggestions on how you address the question about how much are you looking for, what are your salary expectations or hourly pay rate expectations, and cover off those tips within this segment. So first of all, it's not usually recommended for you to bring up salary or benefits on an interview. Leave that to the interviewer to bring that up when the time is right. Usually that doesn't happen in the first round of interviews, but after that, it's fairly wide open for an employer to ask. Now, when it comes to recruiters will generally ask you those questions up front because they want to make sure that they're presenting you at the rate that makes sense for the employer. Number two, you should have a number in mind. You should be prepared to answer that question when you start searching for a position. So if you're working, think of whether you would leave for more money, less money, or the same amount of money that you're at right now. If you're not working, then you should do some analysis, and I'm going to share with you some tips during this video. But you should have a number in mind as to what you're going to go for. You're the one that's selling yourself. So there's a price at which you will sell your services or your time or your labor for that position. So just like a house, it's not the buyer that comes up to say, hey, how much is the house worth? It's the seller who says, look, I'm selling my house at this price. Now, a buyer, or in the case of a job, an employer, may say, hey, you know what, we're going to pay you more than what you're asking for because we think either you're worth it or because maybe you're underpricing yourself or so on. But give yourself a minimum number of what you're looking for. And also, when you post your resume on a site like TorontoJobs.ca, put in a number. Don't leave that number blank in terms of the salary, because for example, when we're searching resumes for positions, for open positions at TorontoJobs.ca, we will look for people within a certain range for a position. Now, if you give a range, whether it's during an interview or over a phone call or whatever it is, say for example you say $18 to $20 an hour, or you give a salary range of $70,000 to $80,000, be prepared to accept the lowest number that you give them. So if you're said 18 to 20, you should be willing to accept an offer of $18. If it's 70 to 80,000, you should be willing to accept 70,000 as well. So be prepared to accept your minimum. You're saying that you're willing to accept a position within that range. So if it comes back to an offer, you should be able to accept that later on. Have some explanation as to where you got that number from if it comes up. So for example, you can say things like, I've looked at similar positions online, here's what I found, or this is currently what I'm at right now, so I don't really want to go below that. So just think about that when you're presenting yourself to a potential employer. Don't beat around the bush when it comes to salary compensation. Employers and recruiters like dealing with people that are clear about what they're looking for. So have a specific idea as to what you're looking for, what you want. Now, if you're flexible, say so. Recruiters and employers know that you may be facing a challenging time right now, or that economic conditions dictate that you need to be flexible. So consider all that in addition to how long you've been out of work for as well. Maybe you're more flexible because you're more keen on getting back to work. When people don't give me a clear response as to what they're looking for, I always ask them again and again, what would it take for you to get out of bed each day to do this role? I will ask in different ways, what if an offer came in at this much, would you accept it? And I keep asking until I end up getting a specific number. So keep asking yourself those questions, and that may help you understand what your salary and pay rate expectations are. A recruiter can give you some guidance as to what the market value might be, or what your market rate might be, or what a position with somebody with your experience might be paying, but you should also have an idea as to what you're looking for. You can look at salary ranges as well to get an idea of ranges. So you can go, for example, to TorontoJobs.ca. You can hover over the Career Resources tab at the top, and you can select the salary calculator. You'll be asked a number of questions, and then you'll find a range that will come up that might help you in determining what your salary expectations may be. Now, while these can be helpful as guidelines, I wouldn't suggest using these types of platforms as your only source of information. Cross-reference it with any other information that you get as well regarding pay. When you do get an offer, you are allowed to ask for more money or negotiate, but try not to push it more than one time. Usually one round of dollars and going back, like, I'm really looking for this, can you accommodate? Sometimes an employer will split the difference and will hopefully make a deal with you, but don't try to push it just purely on salary. Salary ranges and pay rates can be very different between companies, industries, geographic areas, economic conditions, and more. It's sometimes hard to compare apples to apples on two offers. No two offers are ever the same. And in fact, by saying that, you'd have a situation where somebody in a certain position in one company is paid very differently for the same position in another company because of many different factors. Sometimes organizations have to stay within pay ranges or pay grids if they have them. So this can happen, for example, in a unionized environment or a government organization, for example. So in conclusion, it's not only about salary or pay rate that you should think about. There are many factors you should consider when looking at an offer, for example, including the career opportunity, the opportunity to learn new skills, the people that you might be working with, the benefits, vacation pay, vacation time, the location, how much gas or transit costs you might have to get to there. If they have any other perks like Fridays off or during the summertime or extra time off in December, how much commuting time you will have, or also tax considerations by doing that. So you have to look at the whole package, not just the one item, which is salary or pay rate. I've seen many people over the years take positions that were actually paid less than what they were earning at their current job because it was a better overall package when they started reviewing it. So each situation is very unique. Ask for advice from recruiters, employment advisors, other people that you trust, people in the employment industry, and others. You may have other suggestions or comments. Feel free to leave that in the comment sections below. And thanks for watching. Again, my name is Marc Belaiche. I'm president of TorontoJobs.ca. Feel free to visit our website where you can search and apply to positions, post your resume, and also follow us on all our social media platforms at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if there's anything I can help you with. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.